I will give you 1 million.
Shut up, man. Don't do this.
£1 million to have abs by the end of next year.
Coach Greg, in today's video, the $1 million abs bet. Now, KSI bet DJ, I don't know these guys' names, $1 million. $1 million to see if he could get abs by July 1st. The bet was made in December. That gives him over 6 months. And KSI was saying, there's no way you're getting abs. It's just not in your cards. It's not in your genetics. And so he makes the bet, and it's £1 million. That's way over $1 million. And so the moment of truth has arrived. Did he in fact get the six-pack, and does he win the $1 million? Now remember, $1 million is a heck of a lot of money. That is a lot of motivation. And it's my opinion that this would be easy. Not hard, not a challenge, not, oh, maybe he can do it, but excessively easy. Imagine if he had said, Coach Greg, we're going to split it 50-50. I need to get abs. You're going to get $500,000. I'm going to get $500,000. There is no way possible this guy doesn't get abs. Now, if he had started off at 400 or 500 pounds, he's not doing it. But from his starting point to get there in 6 months, it should have been easy. And so here's the thing. He gets $1 million if he gets a six-pack, but he doesn't lose $1 million if he doesn't get it. And here's the psychology of the human mind. People try way harder to not lose something than to gain something. And so the fact that he can get $1 million by getting a six-pack, it's not going to be as motivating as if he says, hey, if you don't have abs in 6 months, you're going to lose $1 million. That would be way more motivational. But regardless of that, $1 million is still a heck of a lot of motivation, and for most people, this should be easy. And so considering he's dehydrated, he perhaps did a peak week, he went through all the things necessary to try to get as lean as humanly possible to win the $1 million.
No, 3 days before this, I fucked up.
Okay.
I was in pristine condition, and then what I was meant to do was just stick to my calories. I went over my calories, and then I started bloating a little bit.
Yet 3 days before the competition ends, he eats too many calories and spills over, and then tries to correct everything by dehydrating. What is wrong with you? What kind of loser-itis do you have? People that can't stick to this, to me, it shows how pathetic of a human being you really are. To me, this is embarrassing. It's pathetic. It shows a lack of effort, of being lazy. It shows a lack of everything. It shows a lack of intelligence. It shows a lack of physicality. It shows a lack of masculinity. If you set out on a challenge, remember, it's his decision to try this, to win the $1 million, and to go half-ass. He didn't even try from day on. He waited until 2 months before. Oh, it's going to be easy. I'll just do it in 2 months. I'll just crash diet. How did it work? Well, we're soon going to find out.
You know what? Thank you, JJ. I deadass needed this. I feel so happy about myself.
And so he says, hey, I feel so happy about myself, for which he starts laughing. He's like, you don't feel happy about yourself? Look at you.
That was the motivation to get you to be, you know, like feel good about yourself, feel fitter.
And so he's like, yeah, you know, you needed the motivation to feel good about yourself to get fitter. $1 million. He should have been trying to do this for no money at all. He should have been living this lifestyle just because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, they can see it.
That was after Vegas.
And so in before photo, you can see the guy is obese. He's not healthy. He's clearly overweight. But to go from that starting point to having a six-pack in 6 months, it should be easy. How hard it would be to lose 1% of body fat a week. 1%. Well, assuming he weighs about 200 pounds in the before photo, 1% is 2 pounds. If he loses approximately 2 pounds of fat a week over the course of 6 months, he's going to lose 52 pounds of fat. 52 pounds. That would be plenty to get him a clearly defined six-pack. But no, I'm going to wait until the end. Now remember, to lose 2 pounds in a week, you only have to be in a daily calorie deficit of 1,000 calories. 1,000 calories, all he has to do. He could remove 500 calories from his diet and exercise, do cardio to burn off 500 more. That's all it would take. He would lose 52 pounds in 6 months. But could he even do that? 1,000 calories above and beyond his maintenance. Imagine if that's all you have to do to win $1 million in 6 months. 1,000 calories for most people might be like doing 2 hours cardio a day at a regular pace for people who are out of shape. Walking, 2 hours. Probably going to do it. Imagine if you were paid $1 million and all I said is follow the same diet as you're doing right now and walk for about 2 hours a day. That is equivalent to how hard this would be.
Yeah.
I always thought like I couldn't persevere. I actually think I'm going to keep this up.
Really?
This whole journey, yeah.
And so rather than diet the entire time, he basically saves it for the last 6 weeks because he didn't think he could keep it going that entire time. I'll just cram it all at once. And this is the problem with most people. They try to bite off more than they can chew. They set unrealistic expectations. And for me, the bet should have been, I want to see you get abs in 6 months from now and keep it for 6 months. If you can demonstrate that you can keep the abs for 6 months, then well, hey, you've won the game. But to simply get abs for 1 day through dehydration and a crash diet, is that really impressive? Hey, why not just triple the dose of Ozempic? Take a GLP-1 agonist, Ozempic and whatever, starve your health, don't even eat anything, don't train, and end up with a six-pack with no muscle. Crash your humper because you're on Ozempic or whatever. And do you really think this guy's gonna keep his abs to keep the weight off? Right after this, I'm gonna eat a massive pizza. Does that sound like he's learned anything? And notice, no one's mentioned my cookbook. Imagine how easy this is. I give him my cookbook and he has abs in 6 months. Hey, follow recipes in the book, do some cardio, and this is how easy it really is. But no, I can't afford all that money. I mean, it's only €1 million freaking euros I'm gonna win. Why would I spend money on a cookbook? And so I'm seeing comment after comment after comment saying oil up. I mean, you would think it's a Coach Greg thread. Every thread I see, people tell me I need to oil up.
I'd say this is the moment of truth, really. I'll make you look this way, and I look, and people can see my reaction first.
All right, and so the moment of truth, we're ready for the reveal. Does anyone feel like this is the first time your lady friend's gonna see you undress yourself and check out the downstairs? I mean, on these guys on Trend, I mean, Derek suggested that if you take Trend, it can make you switch teams, do a little huck tooey all over the place.
And this sounds weird.
That is the opposite look of what you want your lady friend to see when you unveil yourself. When you strip down and they look at you and it's... Yeah, so I'm not sure about this. I'm not impressed. Without having seen his abs, based on KSI's reaction, I'm saying he doesn't have a six-pack. And based on his back alone, I'm saying he don't have no six-pack. That does not look like a guy who is very lean. I'm going to say, without having seen his abs, he doesn't even look like he's sub 15% body fat. Does he look healthy? Yes. I would say probably under 20% body fat. But just based on his back alone, I'm not seeing a guy that looks shredded. But hey, everyone stores fat differently. Perhaps he's going to turn around and shock the world. That's what she said. That's what she said.
I think I'm going to need to...
It gets worse. He looks down and laughs. Imagine you strip down for your lady friend. She looks down. Certainly not the kind of impression I would leave when I see a girl see me for the first time.
I just see shadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
He's saying all I see is a shadow. Well, perhaps it's so massive it's forecasting a shadow. All right. And so turning around, let's see, does he have a six-pack?
So let's turn around and let's see what people think. What's the people saying? Does that count?
Now, don't get me wrong. He has abs, but that's not a six-pack. Let's fact check first. A six-pack is 6 abs. 6. Didn't say an 8-pack. He said a six-pack. A six-pack. Abs, plural, means more than one. I see 2 abs. Maybe 4. Maybe he has a 4-pack. He certainly doesn't have a 6-pack, but he might only have a 2-pack. And so the bet was $1 million for you to have a 6-pack. To me, you don't win the money. Is he on the road to getting a 6-pack? Does he look good? Yes, absolutely. Is there a major difference between the before and after photo? Absolutely. Does this look healthy? Yes. But is this to qualify as a 6-pack? I don't think so.
You look good. Yeah, bro. Look at you. Yeah, bro. This looks great. But I don't think you have abs.
Well, I do think he has abs, plural, 2, but not 6.
I think we have to do a poll, Mitch.
Exactly. We need a poll. Do you agree? I'm famous for this. Do you agree? Poll. Is this a 6-pack? Is this not a 6-pack? This is a 4-pack at best. I'm thinking most people, if you were to close your eyes and I say envision a man with a 6-pack, you're not envisioning this. It's not what you're fantasizing about. It's not what you're thinking. Does that mean it's not healthy? Of course not. I'm going to estimate that he has somewhere around 17% body fat. I do believe he's very healthy. I don't think he's overweight, but I don't think he has a 6-pack.
Not see
But
it.
you can see that there's abs there.
Wait, hold on.
No. And so I'm reading things. It says no abs. It says 2-pack. It says he failed. It says halfway there, $500,000. He got in better shape. It's not a 6-pack. And so does he deserve the money? No. I mean, at best, let's have a push. In 6 more months from now, by January 1st, let's see if you have a true defined 6-pack. This is not deserving of a 6-pack. Now, before when they made the bet, they should have said, look, this is what we need to see. This is your percentage of body fat. This is how many millimeters of thickness we have. We need to fly out Coach Greg. He's going to decide, yes, you got a 6-pack or no. My laser eyes could tell you the body fat percentage. To me, that clearly defined 6-pack should be around 12% body fat. You need to be impressive. Other people need to see that physique and say, I wish I had abs like that. Now, yes, many people would say, I wish I had a stomach like this. I wish I would be this lean, because the majority of people have more body fat than this. But when you close your eyes and you think, I want a 6-pack, this is not what you're imagining.
1 million, brother. So it's got to be like, I see it and I go, yeah, calm. He's done it.
Now remember, it's 2024 and many people think you can just identify as having whatever you want. He could say, hey, I have a 6-pack. I feel I have a 6-pack. I think it. I wish I had it. And so I do. Same thing as if a woman's 350 pounds and says, I'm a 10. I deserve to win the pageant. I'm the best. I am amazing. I am strong and beautiful. You have to impress other people. It can't just be what we want. It has to be what other people think.
You had 6-7 months. You didn't do enough abs workouts. You didn't do enough crunches.
KSI says you had 6 months. You didn't do enough ab workouts. You didn't do enough crunches. You didn't do enough hawk tua.
Side crunches. You know, bridging and all of that. Whenever you see... Bo, let me...
No, let me. He needs to be in a calorie deficit. He could have done all the sit-ups in the world. But if he didn't put the fork down, he didn't eat in a calorie deficit, he's not going to get a 6-pack. Getting abs a 6-pack, it comes from being in a deficit and having very low body fat levels. If you eat too much food or don't burn enough those calories off, you're not going to have a 6-pack, no matter how many sit-ups you do. I'm reading all the comments, the loseritis comments. 2 to 500K, it's all he deserves. $1 million to have a 6-pack. He doesn't have a 6-pack, he has a 2-pack. Let's give him half the money. Let's give him any money. No freaking money! If you don't win the challenge, you get nothing. It's not, I'll give you $1 million for having a 6-pack, $500,000 for a 4-pack, $250,000 for a 2-pack, and if you at least try, I'll give you $100,000. No! Losers.
$1 million's still $1 million, bro. And I'm like, if I give this brother $1 million as well, he's gonna do a madness.
Yeah, $1 million, even when you got Coach Greg money, it's still a lot of money. $1 million for his buddy to go on an easy diet for 6 months. And so if it's not a crispy 6-pack, if it's not undeniable, there's no way he's getting the money.
You should be proud to show it.
I am proud.
But then what's up?
How many of you would be proud of yourself for failing miserably? Like, to me, he's not even close. He had to lose at least 5% more body fat. That means 5 more hard weeks of diet. 5 more weeks, probably could have done it. But yet, I'm just going to try the last 6 weeks. He should have been on it on day 1. He should have hired a coach. He had $1 million to literally lose by not winning this money. And so was it worth it? I'm proud of myself. This is ridiculous. If I have a goal to practice Spanish for 7 hours a week for, say, 4 weeks, and I practice 3 hours a week for 4 weeks, am I going to be proud of myself for not doing what I said I would do? Proud of myself.
51% said yes.
Are you kidding me? 51% of you think this is a 6-pack? I should go on OnlyFans and 51% is going to think I have a 10-inch long. What is wrong with you people? 51%? Y'all gone soft. 2024, the world has gone soft. Softer than last time, especially when you got a soft belly with 2 abs and people saying it's a 6-pack. Are you just saying this because you want him to get the $1 million because you feel bad for him because he's a manlet? Because he's shorter than KSI?
Oh my God, 51% said yes. You know what that means? You're still not getting $1 million.
You don't have a 6-pack, you're not getting the money. If 51% of the audience are a bunch of morons, doesn't mean I'm giving you $1 million.
Show it again! That's 6 months and you gave me 3-pack!
And yet, Coach Greg is an asshole. I made a video back in the day when I said, if you don't have abs, you're fat, referring to bodybuilders. Bodybuilders, imagine being a bodybuilder without abs. And by the way, I said, if you don't have abs is 2. This is not fat. He has a 2-pack. But if you have no abs at all, if you're above 25% body fat, you're fat. Some people with abs, for example, Eddie Hall, is fat. He's obese. He weighs, what, 370 pounds? Yeah, he has a lot of muscle. Doesn't mean he's not obese. Doesn't mean he's not endangering his health. KSI is laughing at him consistently, not giving him the $1 million, despite 51% of people saying he has a six-pack. He's not giving the money.
Next time, don't leave it too late. I'll give you a consolation though. I'll give you like 10K.
And so he's given him a consolation 10K, $10,000. Imagine, I'm going to try to lose a little bit of weight. I'm going to put in some effort for about 6 weeks. I'm going to get $10,000. The rest of us have to pay money to hire coaches to help us lose weight. I help people lose weight. You can hire Coach Greg. You can get my cookbook. You can get anything. You can have a professional chef. This guy had all the money in the world, $1 million to lose. He could have hired a professional chef. He could have hired Coach Greg. He could have had anything he wanted. But no, I'll start dieting in May. I'll just think I can do anything in a matter of weeks. I mean, honestly, if the challenge had been 6 weeks, that would have been very hard. Could it have been done? Absolutely. If he would have been willing to starve himself for 6 weeks, hardly eat anything, perhaps do 5 hours of cardio a day, I certainly think he could have gotten a six-pack in 6 weeks. Now remember, I'm not suggesting you try this. I'm not saying you should crash diet, but $1 million is a lot of money. It's perhaps as much money as many people will make in 20 years. It's perhaps a lifetime salary for many people. And so if you could make the money you could make in perhaps 10 or 20 years and do so in 6 weeks, imagine your job now full-time is losing weight. 24 hours a day, your goal is to lose weight. And so everything you do, if it isn't walking, moving, burning calories, or trying to speed up your metabolism and so on, then you're not doing your job. It's $1 million.
I did come on.
I know.
December, I give
know,
you 6 months.
I know.
Why did you start in May?
There was so much going on. The house, moving out, all of that.
Why didn't you start back in January? Well, I had a house to do, I had stuff going on, I had this, I had that. You can do all of those things and put the fork down. It actually takes you less time to lose weight than it does to gain weight. Think of it. To gain weight, you actually have to eat more calories. You have to do things to gain weight. Calorie surplus. To lose weight, you just skip a meal. Skip 2 meals. Skip 3 meals. Eat half of your meals. By eating fewer calories, you're actually going to lose weight. And so it doesn't take time to lose weight. It takes time to gain weight. Does that make sense to anyone?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say this.
What?
What if you give me 3 more weeks?
No.
And so bro wants 3 more weeks to get a six-pack. In 3 weeks, he could definitely get a six-pack. So he's thinking, let me think. I was an idiot and I saved it for the last 6 weeks instead of 6 months. And so how about if I just convince him to give me 3 more weeks to get $1 million? How hard would it be for him to go in this kind of deficit? Well, let's think. He eats 1,000 calories less in his diet every single day. He cuts his calories in half, goes from perhaps 2,000 to 1,000. That's going to be 1,000 calorie deficit. That is easily doable for 3 weeks. And on top of that, he burns off 500 extra calories doing cardio. Perhaps an hour and a half if he's slow. Why stop there? Imagine if he did 5 hours of cardio a day, just walking. Let's see him do 50,000 steps. I think it's reasonable that a man for $1 million could walk 50,000 steps a day. He could probably burn off 2,000 calories a day from just walking at a brisk pace. Would that be all that hard? More than he would need to do to win $1 million. Jesse James just ran a marathon. I think he burnt 3,500 calories in one marathon, running for about 4 hours. Now, if the bet were Jesse James, you have to run a marathon every day for 3 weeks for $1 million, don't you think he could do it? Perhaps he would slow down. He would walk perhaps these marathons. Perhaps it would take him 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. But if you ran a marathon every day or perhaps walked it, you would burn roughly 1 pound of fat a day. 3 weeks, 21 pounds of fat. You're getting abs. You're gonna have a six-pack and you could probably eat more calories than you're eating right now. And so how easy is this? And so if you're watching this video and you think I could never get abs, you don't want it bad enough. You don't try hard enough. You're lazy. You don't give a shit. You could do it if you wanted to, but you don't have the proper motivation. For example, a guy like Mr. Beast says, giving you $1 million to have a six-pack in 6 months, you know you're taking the bet and you know you're getting it. And if you don't, you are officially a loser, according to Coach Greg.
Oh, if this was 3 days ago, this would be a different story, but I messed up.
He goes, if this was 3 days ago, it'd be a different story. I messed up. There's no way he had a six-pack 3 days ago and then blew it. You really think that 3 days out, he had a clearly defined six-pack, and since then he gained all that fat, water, whatever? He was dehydrated. There's no way you can convince me that this guy blew it 3 days before the competition.
If that's a six-pack, that's an abomination to everyone who actually has six-packs.
Exactly.
Hydrate yourself, man. You can't even stand up.
I can.
It's just you're leaning, bro.
And so think of it, he's dehydrated himself so much that he can barely stand up. Reminds me of when I competed in my last competition trying to make weight, 185 pounds, I'm barely eating. I lost about 8 pounds the day before the contest, trying to make weight. This is what this guy did. You really think this guy had a six-pack 3 days ago when he's dehydrating his body to this extent, probably hasn't eaten for 2 days? But KSI, he offers him a prime, drinks prime, and you'll feel prime time. My opinion, if you want to have a six-pack, get GO2 Max and Turk Builder. Gonna have you have more endurance, more energy, you're gonna train harder than last time, and with GO2 Max, with the main ingredient being NMN, you're gonna feel better and more energy than ever before. Imagine, more energy, you perform more cardio, burn more calories, and with the help of Turk Builder, you're training in the gym harder than ever before. You're building up more muscle, you boost up your metabolism, and so it's a win-win. Head over to my website, code Greg, 15% off.
The six-pack, £1 million bet. Deji has failed it.
And so he's failed a bet, no £1 million, no six-pack whatsoever. And so better luck next time, but there won't be a next time. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And so you now understand the cookbook is literally worth $1 million. Do you understand it now? Do you get it? Do you see how important it is? Do you know how important coaching can be? A simple coach, any coach, you don't have to be as talented as Coach Greg. Any coach would have said, for $1 million, I'd start dieting right now. I don't think I would wait until 6 weeks out. I think right now, yeah, that's the time to start dieting for $1 million. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you like it. Don't forget to watch one of the 2 bloops. Also, if you want the training books, the cookbooks, the Circle Diet book, the Hard and Last Time clothing line, you can get shirts like this. Head over to my website, enter code Greg for 15% off. I even had a free diet and training program. You didn't have to spend a penny. 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Get to my website faster than last time. And I'm out.